What is wrong, guys? Previously, get back our brand new video and to welcome to the first round of the FIA F1 2005 season. We are here in Albert Park, Melbourne for round 1. Before this video begins, just like to say a massive thank you to F1 Games PlayStation for allowing our coverage to be on the full screen. His YouTube and Twitter links will be down in the description below, so sure to go and follow and subscribe to him. Anyway, then we are in qualifying. Then you can see Fernando Alonso in the Renault runs wide when he puts two wheels on the grass in this corner, just loses the back end, and this means that he'll be starting 19th on the back row with Michael Schumacher, whose engine blew up in qualifying, meaning we've got an almighty back row of the grid. But let's take a look then what's going on at the front. Then it's Rubens Barrichello then on pole for the first round of the season, ahead of Kimi Raikkonen in the McLaren, but it's Giancarlo Fisichella third, followed by Montoya, Coulthard, Klein, Sato, Button, Felipe Massa starts 9th, and then Mark Webber rounds out the top 10 in his BMW Williams. 11th then is Ralf Schumacher in the Toyota, followed by Nick Heidfeld in the BMW Williams. Then it's Villeneuve, Freisacker, Trulli, Montero, Albers and Kartikayan. And then look at that back row. Fernando Alonso then starts 19th after that spin, and Michael Schumacher starts 20th after failing to set a lap after that engine blow up. We'll have to see if the Ferraris can be reliable in today's race. So then here we are on the grid then, riding on board with Fernando Alonso in the Renault. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... lights out then, and the 2005 season is underway. It's been a blistering start from Fernando Alonso, already made up 2 positions up into 17th place, right behind the Toyota and going wheel to wheel with the Jordan. Goes down into turn 1 then, and Alonso's pretty cautious. He's lost a place to one of the Minardis and fallen down to 18th for now, but he's hoping to get that position back and many more into this next corner, which is a pretty good overtaking opportunity usually, but he hasn't quite utilised the corner in the best way. He's been a bit of a blocked there by one of the Jordans going pretty slow, and you can see there the Minardi and the Jordan have a bit of contact, and he's managed to capitalise on that and managed to get past the Minardi, now looking right on the back of one of the Jordans. Can he try and make a move down here? Yes, he can, and he gets past the Toyota, but he gets just squeezed there by one of the Minardis. You can see then the yellow and red flags are out, and there's a car in the barrier, and let's just find out who that was. It was Rubens Barrichello. Then you can see there his race is quite literally gone up in smoke. The pole sitter has been eliminated then from the first round of the season. Massive disappointment for Ferrari, been an absolutely torrid weekend for the defending world champions. Let's see if it will get any better. So then, after all that madness, Alonso is now up into 13th place. So it's been a really, really good start. After initial, kind of poor turns 1, 2, 3, it seems to have really picked up for the Spaniard. He's also managed to dispatch the 1997 world champion in the Sauber, and will now be right on the back of 11th place man, which I believe is Nick Heidfeld in the BMW, just trying to find a way past it. Of course, he goes past the scene of the qualifying incident there, but you can see then the BMW being really, really held up through that corner by the Toyota, but Alonso just playing it cool. He doesn't want to, make a move too early. He's right on the back of the Williams now. The Williams just absolutely swerves out of the way, just didn't want anything to do with Alonso, just completely, drives, just steers left. And now then we're right on the back of Ralf Schumacher in the Toyota, and it looks like he's been got a pretty poor run off that corner. Are we going to be... Is Alonso going to be making a move? Bit of contact there with the Toyota, but I guess just completely messes up that corner, and then runs onto the grass, all for good measure. But you can see there, the Toyota was really, really slow off that corner. Alonso was trying to look around the outside, but just can't quite make it. He's probably going to have to wait until the start-finish straight, unless, he does something similar to Heidfeld, Ralf Schumacher, but it doesn't look like he is going to. He's going to have to try and make the move down into turn 1, or indeed, if, not down into turns 3 and 4. And then going down into turn 1, doesn't quite look like he can make the move, but he's just trying to get a best line possible to try and make the move to get himself up into 10th place, of course. Very, very close to points, of course, just to remind the top 8 drivers score points, and he's made that move then past Ralf Schumacher, now up into 10th place, and there seems to be quite a bit of a train here, so it should be a really, really good opportunity to pass a few of these cars. It looks like Mark Webber's up there in 9th. He's Alonso's next target, and he has managed to dispatch him fairly easy. He's just now 1 place away from the points. So you can see here, Felipe Massa is really, really slow out of this corner for some very strange reason, as were the other 2 cars ahead. He was obviously, slightly held up by the guy at the front of this train, which I believe is Christian Klein. But anyway then, Alonso's now up into 8th place then, currently on for 1 championship point, but he's going to make that 2 by the looks of it, as he seems to have got past Jenson Button in the BAR and will now be going after Christian Klein in the Red Bull, of course. Just a reminder, it's Klein's first race in F1 and it's also Red Bull's first race in F1. I think they've got a very strong pairing in Klein and Coulthard. Klein, of course, not nearly as experienced, but he's really doing a good job up there in 6th place. But make that 7th, as Alonso has now dispatched him, the Renault driver, now up into 6th place. And let's just see how this move came about then, just getting the perfect line and perfect run out of this corner and just managing to stick it up the inside and make that move stick. A really good move from Alonso, and that's really helped him in his cause. He's moved up to 3rd then, as other people have pitted, but now he's coming in to make his first pit stop and only pit stop of this 12-lap race. Hopefully he'll get a good pit stop then from the Renault boys, and it looks like he has, putting the fuel hose on very quickly. And just to remind you, if you didn't know, for this season, unlike other seasons, there are no mandatory tyre stops. It's only for fuel. There's basically been a ban on changing tyres unless you have a puncture. And you can see there we get held up massively by the Toyota of probably Ralf Schumacher there. So Alonso then has lost a bit of time there, but he still seems to have come out 9th, and that should be promoted once other people quit, and it does. He's now up into 6th place then, so he hasn't lost any positions and is really making good progress in this race. He's already on the back of Takuma Sato, banging wheels with the Japanese driver, but he has managed to make the move stick. And now can he get past David Coulthard then? And it looks like he can. He got the better run out of that final corner. He's now up into 4th position after starting 19th, and that's where he's going to finish then. He couldn't quite catch up to the top 3. They were just too quick today, but I'm sure Fernando Alonso will be back in Malaysia to really push for his first podium of the season, once he can actually properly qualify. Of course, couldn't today, but anyway then. Kimi Raikkonen then in McLaren takes the first win of the new season, followed by Giancarlo Fisichella in the Renault. Montoya, Alonso, Coulthard, Sato, Massa. Christian Klein scores a point on his debut, followed by Webber. Jenson Button then the second highest Brit in 10th, and it's Heidfeld, Villeneuve, Trulli, Montero. Michael Schumacher only made it up to 15th, and it's Kartikainen and Albers. Ralf Schumacher, Patrick Freisacker and Rubens Barrichello all sadly failed to see the checkered flag, and they'll definitely be hoping for an improved race, of course, next time out in Malaysia. And of course the driver standings then is just practically the same. You can see there Raikkonen made a perfect start to the season. He'll be hoping for his first World Championship win this season, and we'll have to see how it goes for him. Really good start also for Giancarlo Fisichella. Many thought that Alonso would just be kind of being the strong team leader, but it's looking like Fisichella could mount a serious challenge, not only to beat his teammate, but certainly for the World Championship possibly. As you can see there, Barrichello, of course, lagging behind. He's got a lot of work to do for the rest of the season. And you can see there being a fantastic day for McLaren and Renault. They're 1-2 in the constructor standings, followed by Red Bull, BAR, Honda, Sauber, Williams, Toyota, Jordan, Ferrari and Minardi. So I hope you've enjoyed their coverage of the opening round. Be sure to join us next time for Malaysia for round 2. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.